And we are back with another outstanding episode of the Square Table Degenerates. Today we welcome to the show former relief pitcher, Mr. Jesse Orosco Jr. How are you doing today, sir?
Good. How you doing this morning?
Not too badly. We was just talking about, man, it's we got hit by another snowstorm in Cleveland here, man. It was cool because it got the lake froze, so that was good. We got to walk out in the lake for a little bit, and then everything warmed up, and we're here back again with the snow a couple weeks later, man. It just doesn't stop sometimes, man. I don't know. You you down in California still, brother, or where you at?
I was in California, but I moved out to Vegas about 5 years ago now. Actually, a little bit more than that. It was just pre-COVID, so I've been out here. I go back and forth. It's an easy drive, easy flight. So my family's all still in San Diego.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so speaking of San Diego, the internet does tell me you were born in a small town in Southern California called San Diego. Some people may have heard of it. Now, obviously, it's no secret that your dad was quite famous, have been one of, if not on the most fun baseball team to ever exist, the 1986 Mets. Now, what were some of your earliest memories as a youth in just terms of like the world around you, like where you were at, what you were living, that kind of stuff?
Oh man, like I don't know. I have very fond memories of growing up. Like I was just always in the clubhouse. That was the big thing. Like morning, afternoon, night, we get there, early work, hanging out at the clubhouse, doing my own thing, hanging out with the players, getting my work in, and then like staying there for the games. Like it was just it was a very different childhood. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. Memories that I'll never forget. Times that I miss, and it's nice to be able to share those stories with people as I'm older now.
For sure. Now, like, did you travel with your dad as he moved to the different teams? Because, like, I looked it up by the time you were in high school, he was already with the Dodgers, Indians, Orioles, Brewers,
Yeah,
Cardinals, Padres, Yankees. Or did you just like stay in San Diego, Poway area? What was the deal there?
kind of. I mean, yes and no. So, home base was always in San Diego, right? But when he would leave for the season, me, my mom, and my sisters are still in San Diego. Like we're in school and stuff. But as soon as summertime hit, like we were gone. Like we were always gone. So those that June, July, August, like we're with my dad the whole time wherever he is. Let's say, for example, when he was with the Orioles, right? We go out there for Baltimore, stay for the whole summer. When he would have to go out of town on road trips, sometimes my sisters and my mom would go, but most of the time it would be like me traveling with my dad. We'd go on the road trip, come back home, family's still there. And then, that would extend sometimes. So like if he was in the playoffs, it was kind of cool at the time. My teachers all understood. So they were like, just fax your homework in and you come back when you guys are done. Hopefully come home with a ring.
That's awesome, man. Was there like a point in life where it hit you, you realized like not everybody's dad played baseball? Was that just a part of growing up with you?
Yeah, for the most part. But I mean, it was kind of cool because in San Diego where we lived, there was a lot of other players as well, and got along with some of those kids. There wasn't too many, but in that small circle, it was kind of normal. But for everybody else, it was always, oh my gosh, this is so cool, this is awesome. You get all this, like, can I get this? Can I get that? And it was kind of like when I was in high school where I was thinking, this is really neat, and it's not like anybody else.
Oh yeah. Now, did you learn? I mean, you're a Southern California kid. Did you learn to like the warm weather fast? Like, I mean, because traveling around with your dad, I mean, they go to some cold places, you know. I mean, you
Yeah,
had to come home and be like, man, I really like this California weather. What's the deal with the weather there?
man, it is so nice. Like, I always tell people, like on Christmas Day in San Diego, you can wake up and put on, a shirt and board shorts, and you're good to go outside. It's not like that anywhere else.
Oh man, yeah, it's. I mean, we get the seasons. I mean, you're gonna justify wherever you live. I mean, there's trade offs. Like you go down there, it's a lot more expensive than you buy a house in Cleveland, you
Mhm.
buy a house in Vegas. You know, you're gonna notice the price difference because people want the weather. Yeah, I mean, that's just part of life, I guess.
Big time.
I mean, what were some activities that you did when you were a kid that today's youth probably is missing out on that you think we should need get more of out there? What do you think?
Well, I mean, technology just wasn't as advanced when I was growing up, so I was just outside all the time. Whether I'm skateboarding or attempting to skateboard, going to hang out with friends at the park, riding bikes, whatever, playing different sports. Like it was different then because baseball, especially like in San Diego at that time, mostly in the Poway area, club ball wasn't too big or anything like that. Growing up, there was maybe one team, and actually the one team I played for in Poway, um, Howard Johnson coached that team, which was kind of awesome because he lived
Okay.
in Poway. But for the most part, I was just trying to get into other sports, see what I liked, and just stay moving all the time.
Okay, okay. Now, how old were you when you did first get into baseball? And like, besides your, obviously your father and all that, who were some of your
Yeah.
first inspirations, either like personal relationships through that, or maybe some pro athletes that you were, you knew on the outside there?
I mean, I was probably 6 years old, probably about t-ball age. But I mean, there were some players specifically that I looked up to. Guys around the area, but guys that he played with. So, for example, like Trevor Hoffman, right? He was one of my favorite pitchers ever. I mean, my dad didn't get to play with him until the last season of his career, but I was always a Padre fan growing up. Kind of Padre love. I would always root for my dad's team, except for when they played the Padres. Um, and he was one of those guys that I looked up to all the time, and I wanted to be like him, wanted to be like my dad. It was funny because, let's say he was with the Dodgers and they come into town to play the Padres. And at that time, they still allowed kids to sit in the dugout, if you're a player's kid. And if Hell's Bells came on in the ninth inning in San Diego and I'm in the opposing dugout, I'm rooting for Trevor Hoffman and players like Jesse. You got to get the fuck out of the dugout right now. You got to go inside. You got to get out of here. You can't be doing that. I'm like, I'm sorry, I have to.
Well, that begs a question. Like, I mean, your dad played for so many different teams. Does he have a rooting team that he? I mean, a lot of guys get latch onto alumni. Is he like a big Mets fan, or does he have a team, or does he just whatever kind of with the thing? And you being the Padres fan, I mean, that's kind of cool that supersedes like where your dad played because he had so many different teams. I mean, how does that kind of thing work?
I mean, it's he likes the Mets. He likes to watch the Mets. I mean, he'll watch them on TV and stuff. But I mean, he's kind of that guy. I mean, playing for so long, playing for so many teams. I've asked him before. I'm like, hey, who's your favorite team? Who do you like to watch? And he'll just tell me straight up. And like, I'm just a fan of the game. I just want to see good baseball. So if a game's on and it's going well, I'm gonna watch it.
That's a great way to look at it. Yeah, the Padres were awesome back in the day. Do you remember I got the Tony Gwynn jersey up randomly? That's Gwynn was a hell of a ball player, man.
Yeah, we were
And
neighbors for a long time growing up. For about 7 years, we lived in the same cul-de-sac. So me and Tony Jr. would hang out a lot.
oh, that's awesome, man. That's fucking stories right there. Oh, we got a question from Doof. Now, I think the baseball was in the Olympics. He says, "Do you think baseball should be in the Olympics, or would the Americans be too scared to lose to the British?"
Oh man. I mean, I think baseball should be in the Olympics. I think it'd be kind of cool. It sucks that summer games. It would conflict with the major league season. That's why I do like the World Baseball Classic. It's fun to see all those guys get out there, represent their countries. But it's always a good time to see different countries come together, see what the cultures are like. But I do enjoy seeing that. I wish it wasn't the same time, but I do enjoy watching the Classic.
That makes me laugh with the WBC, from Great Britain and all that. If you ever get a chance, Google the Great Britain jerseys. They put like the most generic.
Yeah,
I don't know where they found these guys because I talked to many Brits a lot and they never talk about baseball, but their jerseys had just said Great Britain and like a
yeah, I remember
standard
that.
font. It was so funny.
I remember that. Like the most simple jerseys. I'm like, all right, cool. Just let your skills do the talking.
Okay, the Brits did win and they beat us in the curling. That was
Mhm.
in the Olympics. Did you watch? Do you like any of the Winter Olympic sports? Did you follow any of that? That hockey one was nice. Wasn't it? That was fun,
That was
bro.
awesome. That was
Oh,
fun to watch, especially winning an OT. I do watch some of the hockey. I really like the extreme sports. So like I'll watch a lot of the snowboarding stuff.
okay.
I grew up watching. If I was going to watch Winter Olympics, it was mostly snowboarding stuff. Like I was a big fan of Shaun White, especially from being from San Diego. So that stuff's really fun. I always watch the X Games and stuff too. So anything like that.
Yes, sir. The Flying Tomato. You ever get to meet Shaun White at all?
I did one time actually. We worked out over at the same gym, different times, but it was. I did get to cross paths with him one time. It was pretty cool.
Okay, sweet. All right, how old were you when you first made an all-star team at like any level? And was there a notice when there was there a level when you noticed that maybe you could be play at an advanced level, not just little league? You started getting recruited, that kind of thing.
Kind of, but it was later in high school. I was kind of physically a late bloomer. My dad, he always told me, it's probably going to come late, kind of like he did. Like he's like, I really didn't advance until college. So in high school, it was trying to find, something that worked for me in terms of position. I always liked pitching. I had a pretty good arm, and when I was younger, I threw harder than other kids, but it was trying to find the consistency of it. And then it kind of like plateaued in high school. And then once I got to college, I got more strength, I got more size, and started learning more about my body. That's when it really kind of took off. So that's when I started playing more for scout teams, and I started getting some college looks, and then it kind of took off from there.
Okay. Now, in high school, aside from the athletics, what was your persona like? When you talk about skateboarding, that's kind of cool with the Southern California stuff. Like, what kind of, were you like listening to Tony Hawk, getting into what kind of music did you guys get pumped to? What was the deal there?
Being from Poway, the music especially, I listen to everything. Like I can find a song in any genre that I like, probably even classical, to be honest. There's some days where that feels good, but I'm always going to be a punk rock kid at heart. Like growing up in San Diego and Poway, especially Blink-182 being from my high school, that was my favorite band growing up. So stuff like that is kind of what I jam to, and it still is mostly what I jam to. But you know, just I would hang out with friends a lot as much as I could, especially because like in the summertime, I didn't have a chance to really hang out with friends. And my birthday being in July, I was always gone, so I didn't have a birthday party with friends until I was like 16 after we retired. So spending time with friends was a big thing for me. Like I said, skateboarding, stuff like that, or attempting to skateboard. I was always too nervous to get too deep into it because I didn't want to not play baseball after an injury. But like skateboarding, snowboarding, just random stuff like that, I enjoyed.
How have your music taste changed from then till now, or is it kind of pretty much the same?
There's some staples, like there's some bands that I'll still listen to. But for the most part, I think it's evolved into more of a well-rounded music taste. Like I said, I'll listen to a little bit of anything.
I love Blink. Blink's such a good band, man. They might be,
So good.
and it's weird because Blink, and low key, they might be one of the top three, four, five bands out there. If you really
Oh, I
think of
love
their
them.
music,
I
and
love them.
it's just how it just relates to everything in life. Adam's song and going away
Yeah,
to college, and I miss you, and I want to listen to some Blink now, man. Shit.
I know, me too. I was fortunate enough, so it was kind of perfect timing. I had never seen them live. I always wanted to, but then when Tom left the band for a little bit, I was like, man, I like Matt Skiba from Alkaline Trio, but I don't really want to see them without Tom. So when they got back together, it was 2 years ago now. It was perfect timing. They were playing here at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas on my birthday. And my girlfriend knows they're my favorite band, so she got us tickets to go see them for my birthday. And man, that show was fire. I was blown away. I loved it. I was so happy. My childhood heart was exploding.
That's awesome. I saw him I want to say it was 2019, and they were playing with Little Wayne. Maybe it was a weird combination of a tour.
Nice.
Yeah, it
Nice.
was a good time. It was at Blossom in Cleveland. Here we got this place called Blossom out at Blossom Music Center.
Yeah.
It's okay, but man, I hate going out there because it's like way down in the metro parks, and you got to take all these one lane roads to get there. And traffic sucks, and if you don't leave early, you're stuck in traffic leaving. I don't like Blossom, man. I don't like it at all.
That's brutal.
I'd rather have the venue right downtown. And I know people don't like going downtowns, but it makes a lot more sense to me when the stuff's downtown, man. Hey,
For
what
sure.
about that? Here's some good ones. Some 41, Offspring, Rage Against the Machine, Deftones. Any of these bands you're into?
Of course, man. Offspring, I love. I still listen to Offspring. I still listen to Sum 41. I actually had them on my playlist yesterday. Rage Against the Machine, always a few good songs in there, especially when I'm in the gym. I'll listen to some Rage Against the Machine. Deftones, that's one of those bands that I never listen to too much, but there's a couple songs of theirs that I like that I'll definitely won't skip if they come on.
Yes, sir. The Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of. I might play that 4 or 5 times a week when it's like,
Yeah,
fuck
that's a good
you.
one. I like that song. That's a good one.
Get that it's all about rage. It's great rage music,
Uh-huh.
right? Fucking hell, rage music is probably the best. I like
Love it.
I like all kinds of music. I mean, that's kind of everybody, I guess. I mean, I don't really care for some types of country and all that, but
Right.
I mean, if it's loud and it rocks, metal, rap, whatever,
Yeah.
DMX, you
Yeah.
just get pumped. Oh, I love it.
Anything that gets the blood flowing, I'm in for.
Yes, sir. All right, what was your mindset out of high school? You're talking about a little bit. Was there any thoughts of the service? Were you just trying to play ball at that point? And what made you decide to go to Grossmont College?
I really just wanted to play ball. If I was going to get into anything else, I wanted to go like the kinesiology route. I really enjoy like the kind of the way the body works and moves in general. I enjoy learning about like athletes' bodies, what happens to it. So, if I could go back and do it again, I would probably go that route, do like physical therapy, something like that, sports performance. But I really wanted to play ball. So coming out of high school, I just wanted to go somewhere where I was going to get opportunity. Grossmont just came off a really good year for pitching. I think they had led the state in ERA the year before I went there. So I was like, I want to go there. So once I got in there, I kind of settled in and found my groove.
Okay. So you get drafted. Well, how did you do in college? I mean, did you live on campus? How far is Grossmont from when you grew up?
It was probably about 25 minutes, maybe 20 minutes at that time, especially with no traffic, like growing up. But now that'd be like a 45-minute drive. So, but I lived at home. It was easy. I would drive there, a few days a week, go to school, and then go to baseball every day.
Traffic in Southern California is just asinine, and I've only been there a couple times. I'm in Cleveland. We don't. It's a haul to get to L.A. and San Diego and all that. But man, traffic, it makes me laugh because they're like, people leave California. I'm like, where did they go? Because they didn't. They must have just went all into the roads. Because like,
Exactly.
my goodness gracious, I remember back in '03, is a long time ago, but we went. Me and my girlfriend at the time, we were staying in like Oceanside, and we are going to the San Diego Zoo, I think, or something like down south. And I remember looking at the map and said, yeah, 45 minutes. This is nothing. This is back when you used to print out the maps on MapQuest and all that.
Oh yeah.
It took us like 4 hours to get there. And this is like, it wasn't even rush hour. It was like 10 o'clock. Like, what are we doing here? This is asinine.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's only gotten worse. And I swear, I mean, I love San Diego. Every time I go back to see my family, I'm like, man, why did I leave? And then we get like in 3 o'clock traffic. I'm like, oh yeah, this is definitely one of the reasons. Definitely one of the reasons.
All right, so you get drafted by the Diamondbacks. You get stationed up in Montana, right? Like, so being a SoCal kid, how much of a culture shock is this for you? And like after baseball is done, what the fuck were you doing all day?
Oh man. So I will say, and I've said this a few times. So after I got to Montana, it was like that initial, like, oh man, like we're not in San Diego anymore. But where I was in Montana, so I was in Missoula, right by the University of Montana. I tell everybody that was one of the most fun times I ever had playing baseball. Was in Montana. Being in Missoula, it was awesome. That city was great. I mean, it was nice, like it was outdoorsy, but it had a little bit of that city vibe. It seemed like more populated, more kind of bustling than other areas in Montana. But I mean, we got 5,000-6,000 a night. It was a newer stadium. It was a great town. They took care of us in the town. Everybody loved us, and they came out to support us. It was a blast. I loved Missoula.
So that's, I mean, at that point, you only did a couple years of college, right? So that was kind of like almost an extended college, right? You were what, 20, 21 years old up there?
Yeah, I was 20 when I got drafted. So when I got into my first year of rookie ball, I was still 20. I turned 21 in the middle of that season.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun though, and like you said, after those days of the field, well, I'm going to bed because we get there at 2-3 o'clock, and then games at 7. I'm getting home by like 10:30, riding my bike back to the house I was renting. But other than that, I mean, I go around town. Like I would do some hiking out there too because I enjoy that and just kind of exploring.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. I know you had a brief stint in Cleveland here with Lake Gary Crushers. I'm wearing the hat right now. Fear the
Nice.
grape. Fear the
Yep.
grape. Earlier. Fear the grape. It's a
All
great,
pro plate. Yep.
yeah, great fun stadium out there, man. But how does something like that come about? Do you just like go to a tryout and they sign you? Do you get called and they're like, we need you here? I mean, for these, when you're not involved in the major league system, you're doing the independent leagues and all that. How do they get a hold of you? Is it just random, or do what's the
I
deal there?
mean, kind of. I mean, they have like tryouts. They might pick a guy or two from, but it's mostly about making calls. Once I was done with Diamondbacks, I got released after my when I was in my second season. Like early on, I only pitched a couple innings, and they brought in a new wave of class, so it was that time. And then I made a couple calls, and they said, "Oh yeah, we could use you here for sure." So that ended up working out. But I was there for a little bit, and then that's when I had made a call to the Padres as well. And that's after that they said come out, throw a bullpen, and then they signed me right after.
Okay, okay. Where did you when you was in Cleveland? Did you have like I always remember they announced for like host families. Did you live with the host family, or did you bring
Yeah,
up? Where were you staying up here?
yeah, I did. I was in Avon actually.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
I
So
had
you
a
were
good
in.
family. I had a good host family in Avon. Um, Great house, like super chill. It was awesome. Like they let me do whatever I wanted to do, and I basically hung out. But next door was a teammate that had a car that lived in the Ohio area, so it was nice to just kind of go back and forth with him every day.
Okay. Did you? I mean, you weren't here that long, but Did you go to the flats? What did you party at? Any?
Man, I mean, like for the most part, I just kind of hung around the town. But when I did, like, do you know $2?
Mhm.
Like I would go there a lot. That's where like my teammates like to go, so we go there a lot. We go down into like the downtown Cleveland area sometimes, especially just to go hang out, go to bars, go eat and stuff. Went to like I really enjoyed the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Actually, that was really cool.
Yes,
That's one of
sir.
the
Man, my office is like two blocks south of the Rock Hall, right there, working the
oh
federal
nice.
building. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a lot of the 2 bucks they closed, man. It's kind of sad.
That was
Yeah.
too bad, man. That was a good spot. I was like, man, I can come in here and have a good time and spend like $30. I'm good.
Oh, happy hour at 2 bucks was legit, dude. I remember
So good.
back when I used to party hard, man. I would go because they had the little they call it 2 bucks because for happy hour they have a little $2 sandwich
Yeah,
menu. Oh, yeah, for like
it
you
was
said, for
awesome.
30 bucks you can get 7 or 8 pints and get a couple burgers and be feeling
Yeah,
really nice around happy hour,
real
brother.
good.
Yes, sir. All right, now pitching appears to be a lot more fickle than hitting. Like pitchers can be lights out 1 minute, man, and like the next minute they can't even find the strike zone. So, like, was there something that you tried that you wished worked better in terms of a pitch? Like, did you ever try a knuckleball?
No, I did. I messed around with one in BP just because it was fun to throw balls to the bucket like that. But I mean, I was mostly a 3 pitch guy, like fastball, curveball, changeup. But I mean, I didn't tinker too much outside of that because I had success with those things, so I didn't want to mess with too much.
Okay. What about the screwball or the spitter?
Nope, not those were a little bit ahead of my time. I didn't mess with those ones. I think the only one I really did mess with a little bit was a splitter, and that was kind of fun. But just the movement profile was a lot like my changeup, so I was like, I'll just have one changeup.
Did you ever have a coach or some, an old timer teammate or something? Like in what was that movie with Rowan Gardner, the Cubs
Oh,
one where he
the
won
rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year. Yeah, you ever have an old timer like, oh, you got to go in here and get some Vaseline and put it on the ball? You ever had somebody like that?
I had a couple guys like that. I had this actually when I was in rookie ball. I had I guess he would have been old at the time for rookie ball, but he was like a 24-year-old catcher, and he had a few years of experience under his belt, and he kind of took me under his wing, and he'd be like, oh yeah, you don't need to fuck with that today. Just do something else, like just little tips and tricks here and there. And I'm like, okay, it got me through my first year.
Well, speaking of the Rookie of the Year and all that, Major League, what's your favorite baseball movie?
Oh
What do you,
man, I mean, I guess I have a couple for different reasons. Like I love Major League. I love funny shit. So like Major League was always really a really good one for me. I loved watching it. I'll still watch it. But it's like if you go into like feel good story, just like overall baseball, I really like The Rookie. I love that story of Jim Morris. So that was that's one of those ones that I won't skip if it's on TV.
he was, it's funny. I had him on the show a little bit ago, Jim Morris, and I still haven't seen the damn movie yet. I got to get around to that. I told him I was going to watch it, and I never got around to it.
It's a good
Did it
one. I love that one. It's a great like just feel good story, and kind of battling adversity. So I love the story behind it.
it was funny, Jesse. I asked him about was there anything in the movie that was true to life. He said the one part where he was first pitching and they in the count he was like the guy fouled off and they went like 20 pitches or like screw it and they just changed it because they couldn't get him to foul off the ball again. And that's great, man. Yeah,
That's funny.
that's the thing I like about baseball a lot is that guys like Jim Morris, guys like what was it Rushford I had on Jim Rushford. They were just garbage men, pizza shop guys, whatever, and they just go in and have a good spurt, and they get up there and have a fun time up there, man. It's great, right?
Oh
My
man,
goodness.
like you get a cup of coffee in the big leagues. Like there's not many people in the world, in the history of the world, that can say that they've done that. So that's a feat. Like in itself, that's something to hang your hat on.
Yes, sir. Now, you've had some baseball cards made of yourself, I'm assuming. Did you collect any of them?
I didn't. I just wasn't a big collector in general. But I've had some. I've had some cards, and I've had some people bring me some over the years where I'm like, I didn't even know that they fucking made this. Like, this is cool. Like some posters and stuff. I'm like, this is really neat. Like, do you mind if you send me an extra one? I'll sign one, send one back, and I'll keep one for myself.
Do you have I mean you got to have some kind of memorabilia collection. I mean, growing up, I did. Do you have a nice one? And do you have a famous piece, your prize collection piece, something like that?
I have some cool stuff. For the most part, I was very like I really enjoyed like sharing, the experience with friends. So like a lot of stuff that I got, like I would give to friends. Like I've given away like Barry Bonds signed balls and Griffey stuff. Like I've just given it to friends because I wanted them to have a little piece of what I got to experience. But I got like my dad gave me his first all star all star ring, which was pretty cool. I have
Okay.
that. Little things like that I keep safe. Those are things that are just for me. But for the most part, I just I didn't collect too much.
Oh, well, your dad's a lefty. Now, when you're growing up, I mean, you had to throw a ball in the backyard a little bit. How old were you when you first got hit off of him?
Uh, Shoot, man, like I can't even remember. Maybe like 10 when he would lob it to me.
He give you the brush bat pitch. All right, son, you're crowding the plate. And he just throws it in you, gives some chin music.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. He'd come home and because he wasn't able to be around for most of the spring when I would play baseball, but when he did come home and we'd be able to do some stuff, he'd blow some right by me just to make sure I knew where he was and where I was.
That's awesome, man. All right, so what did you do after you left the game as an active player? Did you get into like coaching or consulting, and like what do you do for a living now?
Yeah, I kind of went right into coaching and consulting. I really enjoy that side of the game, helping players develop, mindset, kind of getting players to blossom into their own. So I've consulted a lot, especially in San Diego. Now I coach. I coach high school here in Vegas, and I consult for different schools, different players. I do some stuff with prep baseball. So it's a lot of the coaching and or pitcher performance space. That's what I do full time.
Okay, no, that begs the question. I mean, the money ball, the analytics stuff. I mean, you grew up watching your dad. I mean, this guy pitches 20 some years, 4 decades, right? And
Yeah.
it's a different game than it was then. I mean, it's now they know in 2 seconds where this guy's going to hit, his hitting tendencies, et cetera, et cetera. What's your whole take on this analytics stuff? Do you think it helped the game a lot? Do you think it's going to hurt the game in the long run? I mean, there's been a lot of changes recently. What do you think overall? How's it going to be for the game?
I mean, I think there's two sides of that coin, right? Like I've had a lot of conversations about this stuff. I mean, even since I played, which was like the early 2010s, like the game has changed a lot since then. I feel like the game really shifts like every 8 to 10 years, kind of. But the access to information for both hitters and pitchers, I feel like is really beneficial, just from an approach standpoint. But at the same time, I feel like some of it can be information overload, right? Like if a guy's going well, like I don't think that he needs to have way more information than he's provided at that moment when he's on a streak. Then that's when you get into the space of like starting to get in your head a little bit. I feel like that's why like mental performance coaches are so big right now because I just think with so much information, I think there's a stress factor that comes along with it.
Okay. What's your take on and a lot of pitchers on recently? I always ask them about this, that these young kids getting all these Tommy John surgeries and all that, man. What's going on here? I mean, this can't be healthy to have 14-year-olds, 16-year-olds getting this complete arm surgery. What's going on with this, Jesse?
I think it comes down to a couple different things, right? So I've had a lot of conversations about this as well because there's people on both sides of the fence. So, when I was growing up, like a lot of kids were multi-sport athletes, right? Now, I mean, you have kids playing only baseball year round. If you're in certain parts of the country, like especially down here, Southwest, like we're year round. I mean, you get like basically 4 weeks of break off the entire year, and that's spread out in like two-week breaks out of the year. So I just think like all that stress growing up, starting at like 10 years old, especially if a pretty good arm. I mean, guys are just getting used and used and used. And even now I'm seeing some of that stuff, like kids that were, 6 years ago in club ball throwing, 100 pitches every weekend, catching in a game, and then going to practices throughout the week, pitching throughout the week. Like it's starting to catch up to them now in college. Like those kids are starting to have, strains, tears, and besides that, I think it comes down to the way athletes are training now. I mean, taking max effort, max load, trying to build as much as they can in a short period of time and putting a lot of stress on the body before it's fully developed so that they're ready for college in a sense.
Right.
I think that plays a factor in it, and everyone's always looking to get that little bit extra out of the tank, that little extra 2 degrees of rotation out of their hips, whatever it is, that just puts that extra stress. So I think kind of the culture has made it go that way. I think that you can do those things in a healthy manner, but for the most part, I just think it's a lot of overuse.
Yeah, it's I mean, you gotta let kids be kids. You do, and I
Yeah.
know I think a lot of people tend to live through their kids,
Right.
vicariously through them. I mean, if you're living vicariously through your kids, I got news for you. You're probably boring yourself, so you need to go out and do
Yeah,
something, take a
exactly.
vacation, go to the titty
Mhm.
bar, go do something. You don't want to, you don't want to be the dads on Varsity Blues, man. Out
Oh
there.
man. Let your kid be a kid. I tell kids like that all the time. They come to me like, "Hey, what should I be doing on the days off?" I'm like, "Hey, well, go fuck around. Like, go do something that makes you be a kid. I'm like, this is not a job at 15. And I mean, I get it to a certain extent because the landscape is so competitive now, especially getting into college. I mean, Division One pitchers are arguably equal to, if if not better than some minor league guys, depending on what level you're at. So like the expectation to perform at a high level when you're in college now is crazy, and kids are chasing that from like eighth grade now.
It's mind-boggling, man. It's crazy to think about. I let my kids be kids, but part of that is because I'm lazy, so they don't really. Well, I'm not really an athlete myself. I played a couple of years of football back in the day, but my goodness, I mean, it's it is what it is, man. If you're from an athletic family, you tend to do athletic shit. If
Right.
you're from a family that likes to go to the Ponderosa, you tend to not do as much. It's just the way of the world.
But you can still be an athletic family and do other shit, right? Just
Exactly.
have fun. Yeah.
Go to the mall, eat some yogurt, date a girl, have some fun.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, put some fat in your body.
What the hell? All right, you was talking about the skateboard now. How actually are you on a skateboard? Can you do a kick flip? Can you do a nose grind and then, ollie up into a gymnast plant? Or can you just like stand on a skateboard for a little bit and not fall off? What's your skateboarding skills like?
Nowadays, I can probably only hit a little ollie and maybe a kick flip on a good day if I get my legs loose.
Okay. Do you remember, were you a big Tony Hawk pro skate? I love those games, man.
Yeah, those were so fun. Though I loved playing those games growing up. Tony Hawk was so fun to watch. Like guys like him, Bucky Lasek, Rob Dyrdek. I loved watching those guys when they'd skate.
Oh man, I saw when I was in California. I saw Bucky was just skating randomly down the street. I had to have been Bucky because I remember his like
so sick.
Fucking hell, man. Oh, I tried to get Tony Hawk to show it. They gave me a polite no. It is what it is.
Damn,
all right. Have you ever been on a surfboard? What's up with the surfboarding skills?
That's funny. I really try surfing again. I've had it one time. Actually, I was on a family trip to Hawaii, and then like randomly, one of my college coaches was on that same flight because he has family out there, and he tried to take me out surfing on a longboard, and fuck, the water did not like me. Me and the board did not agree. Like I couldn't get up for the life of me. Like I could snowboard, I could skate, but like, god damn, dude, the water just wasn't my friend that day.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The fear of the drowning in the 20-foot waves probably into my surfboard career before it even started, right?
Oh yeah, goodness. For
sure. We always like to close out with some silly questions, so we're gonna get goofy for a moment. What kind of dishwashing detergent do you use?
Dawn and Cascade.
Dawn. Dawn's the most popular answer for that one. It's great. Dawn's gonna owe me some money when this is all said and done, right? All right. How long could you sit in a library and do nothing before you would fall asleep?
I mean, maybe like 30 minutes. I think I got some major ADHD, so like 30 minutes and I'm done. I'm either falling asleep or I'm walking out.
I'm sure sometimes I've fallen asleep like at work, just typing, and I'm sleeping when I'm typing, and then
yeah.
Keeps going. All right, what is your favorite airline you've ever been on, and do you have a least favorite airline?
Oh man, favorite airline probably JetBlue. Like that was top tier. I like that. Taking a couple cross country flights, like I was really comfortable. Worst one, probably Frontier Spirit. Just I feel like as soon as I get off, I need to go straight to the nearest chiropractor.
Hey, Spirit, man, they give me no. We went down to the Virgin Islands at Spirit, and my son hates it. He's like, "We'll never go on Spirit again. They charge you for snacks. This is ridiculous."
They charge you to breathe air on there. It's brutal.
You got to use the bathroom. That's $10 fee. All right. When was the last time you were at the zoo?
Probably about like 6 years ago. Like right before I moved to Vegas. I had to go to the zoo and the Wild Animal Park one more time.
Okay. When was the last time you used a vacuum cleaner?
Yesterday.
Okay. I gotta vacuum up my damn self. I don't even want to answer that question because I can't remember and I'm a slob.
I got dogs, so I mean I got a vacuum.
Oh, for sure. Have you ever been in a Ferrari? What about a Lamborghini? And do you have a favorite car?
Yeah, been in both. Super cool. But I haven't been in my favorite car. I would love to be in a McLaren. That's my favorite supercar brand.
Hell yeah. I saw a McLaren, not the one you want to drive. There was one in downtown Cleveland. Because there's this hotel called the Nine. It's like the right on East 9th. It's where Johnny Manziel lived when he was in town. We draft this guy and we put an alcoholic. We make him live in a bar. This is a great idea, Browns management. Fucking Manziel. I don't like that guy. All right. In your opinion, who are the 3 most famous people you have met in your life?
Oh man. I don't know, maybe Elton John, Barry Bonds, and that's a tough one. I met Keanu Reeves. Like I've met some
Oh,
really
nice.
random famous people.
Dude, Bonds hit, man. That 1 year Bonds was like 682 on base percentage. I mean, anything
Absurd.
aside, that season doesn't get enough love. My God. They were walking
Absurd.
guys with the bases loaded. You get bases loaded, you walk him in, they were so afraid of this guy.
Yeah,
Fucking
absurd.
hell. My goodness. What period of time would you like to live in that you haven't already lived in?
Um, I'd live in the 20s. I've actually had that question before. I've talked about that. I'm like the whole like Boardwalk Empire, Great Gatsby era. I would love to be there just to see what that vibe. Because I've been to Atlantic City. I'm like, man, this would have been really cool to see like in the 20s.
I was just watching Boardwalk Empire. It's funny you say that. I like episode 4 or 5. Episode 4 is dragging a little bit, but man, Buscemi's outfits makes me want to dress up every now and then because I like. I don't want to dress up and have nowhere to go. You know what I mean? Because I'm on YouTube a
Right.
lot. I don't want to be on here. Everybody else is in t-shirts and sweats, and here's Joey Edibles with the 1920s tux, and nobody wants to see that shit.
I mean, I enjoy dressing up too. If I have somewhere to go, I'll dress up anytime.
Yes, sir. How long would it take you to parallel park a car?
Instantly. I'm an elite parallel parker.
Okay, so we could hire Jesse Orosco Jr. as the parking attendant, is what you're saying. Okay, so you're
100% parking authority.
well, what's your car now? What do you drive now?
I drive an Audi A4 right now.
Oh, nice. I got a Kia. That thing's paid off. That's all I give a fuck about.
Hell yeah. Hey, Kias are great, man. Best warranties in the business.
The one thing I hate about Kias, though, Jesse, the electrical system is garbage. Dude, I replaced 15. That's no shit. 15 light bulbs in that thing, and they're not cheap.
No
But I mean,
way.
I push that aside mechanically. The thing is a doll. I love that
Yeah.
car. It's 7 years now. It's not giving me one thing, brother. This
What
girl's
model do you
amazing.
have?
Kia Forte,
Oh,
2020.
nice. Yeah, those are nice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just paid it off last year, I think.
Good for
It
you.
was like a 7. I got it right before the lockdowns. It was October 19. Yeah, October 2019.
Oh, good. So you did not get a lemon.
No, yeah, and I'll hold that car for a while. It was good timing too, because like right after that, during the pandemic, man, fucking the cars just went through the roof.
Oh
In
my
hindsight,
gosh.
in hindsight, I probably should have bought a couple houses and cars just and see
And
what
yeah, no
happened.
shit.
Instead of spending all that money on this weed that I buy, but it is what it is. I got high. You know what I mean? All right, Beatles or Queen? Who would you pick out of those two bands?
Probably Queen. I've listened to more Queen than I have Beatles. There's some Beatles stuff that I really like, but I would say just for the vibe, probably Queen.
Okay. What is something you haven't done yet you are sure you're going to do by the time you're 40? And what is your advice for your future self?
Probably go to Japan. something I've been wanting to do. I was trying to go out there actually for the Summer Olympics in 2020 before it got canceled, so that kind of screwed me. But I mean, future self, I would just say enjoy life as it comes to you. Stop worrying about making things happen where you can't, and just experience as much of the world as you can.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you have to hook me up on that Japan trip, man. My son wants to go, so I think we're gonna when they graduate. He's a sophomore now, so in 2 years I'll probably be in Japan. 2 years in this. So what's this year? 20. So summer of 2028. If you're heading over to Japan, let me know.
Hell
We'll
yeah.
we'll smoke it up. I gotta find some. See, that's the only thing, man. I smoke a lot of weed, and I know like a lot of Asia, dude. They don't really do the weed thing, so I'm gonna have to like either
Just bring some
smuggle in a
gummies.
bunch of edibles or find
Yeah,
some yakuza to give me some weed or something. I don't even know how it works over there,
you
man.
make some friends over there real quick.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, thank Mr. Jesse Orosco Jr. for coming out, brother. It's been an honor.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yes, sir. And be sure to join me in about an hour and 22 minutes when I got British pianist Ben Waters coming on the show. So don't miss that. Thanks, brother. We'll see you around.
See you later.
All right. Peace.